What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. Back again on our Corvette build. In the last episode, we were trying to work out a few minor detail things, like the lighting and some other weapon details and stuff, which the weapon part we kind of came across a bug. Now, you'll notice the elevator is gone. So there's actually a reason for this. It was suggested in the comments, and I actually thought it was a good idea, to replace the elevator but put it to where, can't seem to get the camera to show it, to where the railing was facing to one of the sides rather than the front, so that when it was extended you could walk through it without a problem. I was like, hey, that's a really cool idea, I wish I had thought of that. Why didn't I think of that? And then I kind of realized why it won't work. Because the doors stick out when you have it closed. Now, if this were extended, it wouldn't be a big deal because the doors would shut and it would be flush with the wall. But if I do it this way, then I would have to bring this out a little bit further, actually a lot further, like a whole block or two. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that would cover it. So, and I can't really bring it out any further because then the top has to be further, which would cut into this wall. So, for the foreseeable future, I really don't see that as an option. So unfortunately. Now I'm actually thinking I'm going to switch this around a bit, though. Where is the railing? I can never find the railing on this. I don't know why. Okay, there it is. I'm thinking I might put it forward. For one reason. Well, two. One, it would make it easier coming off of the ship if you wanted to go straight to the bridge. Like, if you didn't want to mess around with all this stuff and you were just gonna... You had left and now you're just gonna go fly. Though, I suspect a lot of times if we leave the ship, we'll be in the rover. So you'd come in from this angle. Maybe I should just put it back the way it was. I was also thinking of the ladder up here, that if I had the railing the other way, it wouldn't interfere with that, but I'm honestly thinking that's probably a glitch of some kind for the ladder. I don't think that's actually anything we did. And I can't keep these straight. I don't know what's going on with all this. Okay, that's not the right one. I need to probably rename these, is more than likely the issue. I don't think I've seen a 7 before. Yep, there it is. Okay. And they did finally fix the glitch with the text on the buttons, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think this is a modded glitch, is what there it goes. See? It was a glitch. Okay. Problem solved. Alright. That makes me happy. Okay, get off there. That makes me feel a lot better, because that's not going to be an issue anymore. Alright, we're a little... Are we off center here? I think we are. Oh well. I don't know that there's really anything I can do about it, because this needs to be as far out as it is. I suppose... In theory, I suppose I could make this one flush with the wall and have it just go straight up, but meh. I kind of like it the way that it is in here, to be honest. The only issue we're going to run into here is the lighting stuff. Well, we could get a little creative here. Let's keep it symmetrical by doing like this. Okay. And then maybe just do one. That could work. Okay. Put one there. We've already got a few lights here in between our screens. Let's change and put one here. And we'll put one there. Is that... Oh, that's off from where it was before. I didn't really mean to do that. Put a couple here. I often forget about that too, but I could roll these up vertical and make corner lights. I kind of forget that's a thing we could do. Like over here and stuff. We could do stuff like that every now and again, if it's necessary. I mean, we're kind of following a pattern, roughly, and it's kind of working so far. What did I do over here? On there. So if we find a spot where it just really would work better the other way, we can do that. Didn't put anything over there. Alright, now for this... Wrong button. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, never mind. False alarm. I was gonna say there's actually two over here, and there isn't over here, but there actually is, so we'll do it that way. That'll be fine. Now, I don't think I can put anything right here because of the panels and the windows. So that's an interesting dilemma in that regard. And for down here, while I got this spun around, let's just place one there. I don't really have any spots I could put lights there, but that's fine. That should be enough. And we've got most of the light. Do I have my HUD lamps off? Yes, I do. Okay. I want to make sure those are off. Oh, you know what? Do I have any... I could use that tactic I was thinking about. I can't put one there for some reason, but we could put a couple here for some lighting there. And I really should at some point turn away from the sun, just so I get a more accurate picture of how everything will be lit when it's dark. That might be a little too much over here. I don't really know. In fact, I think I'm going to take these top ones off so that they're just in the middle. I think that'll work. This, I think, will work okay. I don't think we need any center lights, really. And I do have a bit of a technique, if you will. Actually, I'm going to take these corner ones out. I don't think I need those. And I definitely won't when we adjust the output of the lights. Because that's another thing that got brought up. Was everyone seemed kind of in agreement that it was very dotted and there was a lot of spots, but it wasn't actually all that bright. And I think I've come up with a decent solution. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I should put any... I guess I can't put any right over the elevator. I was hoping I could, kind of like the bottom, where the bottom area doesn't seem to have as much of a problem with you putting things in the actual collision block. And we do need, I do need a better situation for the buttons. A couple people suggested I might go with this, is an open and closed on like both sides of the hallway, so you could trigger it from either one rather than in the middle. I might leave them one in the middle, just because sometimes the collision box on the actual elevator can be a little bit tough to grab a hold of, and it might be a little easier just to turn and point a button. But I do like the idea of one on the front and the back here as well. And these came off when I was testing with my different orientation for the elevator. So we need to replace those. But yeah, it can look a little dotted kind of thing. I also messed around in here a bit with the cabling, and it's very difficult to work with, actually, because it's very picky about what it lets you attach it to. For example, I had to start a block here in order to get that one to go down, but then, like, you couldn't attach anything up here, so I had to use a different kind of cable on the starting point so that it would attach to something. It was very finicky, and I'm not a fan of how there is no two-block transition. Like, I'm okay with it taking up one block, but I'd want kind of an L shape for these kinds of things where I had to leave both of those blank, and I'm not really a fan of that. So I don't know if I'm going to leave all this or not, but I felt it did kind of add some detail, but I'm not real thrilled with it overall. Because it doesn't really feel like it's actually organic. It kind of looks like you're just decorating, which is effectively what I'm doing, but I wanted it to look a bit better. I put them on the side of the vents, right? I think I did. Okay. So we'll do the ceiling in here first. And I like these little cable lights when you're doing wiring. Like, if you're going to use the cabling, I do like those. Those are pretty cool. Let's keep the attempted standard. Maybe I should do one here, one here, one here, and take that one out, maybe. That might match a little bit better, I think. Now over here, what happens if I do the same thing? We kind of run out of room. But if I do the every other, that works out a little better for spacing. Okay. Probably should go into spectator mode for this area back in here. Because this is going to get a little tricky without doing it that way. Oh, that's not cool. Okay, because I'm not putting one over here on the corner, this is causing a spacing issue that I'm not happy with. Okay, that could work, but it does kind of mess this one up. Whatever. It's in the same space, I guess. It's just turned, so that's fine. Yeah, we're going to switch to our spectator camera here so that we can get in here a little bit. Now, I can't actually place anything where this tank is, I don't think. So let's just put one there, because that's kind of in between. That feels redundant, because there's a light right there. Unless I change the light out, which I could. Because I kind of like how that would look. But yeah, the cable light's gotta go then. Again, can't really get back in there. Oh, hi. How are you? Floating cable. Didn't know you were there. Let's put it back here. No, let's put it back here, because that'll line up. We'll do the every other one. Okay, now we're running into kind of the issue we had before. Oh, I got an idea. Well, that's a problem. Because if... Because there should be a light here for spacing-wise for it to match, but whatever. I'm trying to not let that kind of stuff bother me as much as I normally do. It's not working all that well, but I'm trying. Okay, I can't get a light in here, I don't think, because of the crates. Or at least not in the same spacing. Now this is actually an interesting situation, because technically I can get a light back here, but it's almost the why bother kind of thing, because this is literally not going to do much of anything. So let's leave that for now. And here we could line up... Wait a minute. No, that's not in the right spot. 1, 2... It should be one here if I was following that spacing. I don't really want to do that. We could do one on the floor, but I don't really want to put one up there. That's fine. Hey, you, get out of the way. Okay. And just for... We could do this for some... Oh, you know what? We could put a couple here and actually change their color to give it a kind of, like, glow. That might be interesting. That's something to think about. Before I get any further then, those should be the last ones, I think. So, what was it? The last 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? So let's try that. Yeah, okay. So let's do... I'm thinking a yellow is kind of what I'm thinking. Some kind of a yellowy color. Or a gold. Maybe like more of a gold. Something like that. Because that just makes me think engineering to me. I don't know why. It just does. And then maybe we could do some kind of maybe we could do some kind of paneling? I don't know if this is getting too kind of over the top or not. And I want it a little darker or saturated. It looks too bland or faded. So let's bring this down. Do something like that. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I guess we could just run like paneling all the way down to make it a bit more... See, this is what I don't like. Let me see if it has any kind of... They have corners, but they don't have an elbow. And that's kind of what I need, is some kind of curve. I guess I could do an angle panel. Never really thought of that. Like here, I could place an angle and then follow it along like that, like it's some kind of, not necessarily off-limit, but kind of like an off-limit kind of thing. And we might want to do the same thing over here. Might be... I'm just playing around at this point. Let me know what you guys think about any and all of this stuff. That also means I couldn't put that light there, though. Where did my lights go? Oh, they're there. Alright, well, for this, then, if we're going that... Oh, crap, that's not gonna work either. Dagnabbit. I don't think that's gonna be an issue in a minute, actually. So, let me know what you guys think about that, because that's kind of interesting to me. That's something I hadn't really planned on doing, but I think it's kind of cool. And before we get too much further into... Well... I do have an idea. A couple people had suggested as far as like the bloom and stuff being too bright. I do kind of have an idea to fix that. I was playing around with it a little bit before I started recording this episode. And I think I have a relatively decent solution. So we'll see how that goes. But see, like this, I want to be able to curve down and in to the cryo chamber, and it just doesn't work. So that's kind of annoying. What happened here? I seem to have lost some panels. That's different. I didn't know that happened. Okay, that's better. But yeah, the panels are a little, or the cables are a little weird. Where, like, sometimes you have to, like, if you're over here, you can't start on these conveyors. You have to be, like, yeah, conveyors. That's what those are, right? No. They're, tubes or whatever. You can't, like, start on them. You have to be on a conveyor itself, which is a little annoying to me. I'm not a fan of that kind of thing. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna put a light there. But let's put a few down the center here. What am I stuck on? Get out of my way. I'm building here. Okay. So that takes care of those. I'm trying to get rid of get all the cabling kind of see, like this, I don't know what I'm gonna do because it doesn't want to grab onto anything. It's really weird and I don't like it. I might just have to place a conveyor like in the middle just because, just so that I can actually wait. Is that in the middle? Oh my gosh, that's in the middle. I did good. Good job, me. So yeah, I'm not, like, I like the look of the cabling mod, but I do kind of hope at some point the actual mechanics improve a little bit. Okay, I can attach to that. That's fine. Why is that still disconnected, though? Uh-oh, what'd I break? We ran into that as well in the hangar, actually. So why are you still busted? Oh, it's because it doesn't go to anything. That's odd. What was this for? Oh, I must have been running the cable down to the Mac cannon, and at some point changed my mind. I don't remember doing that at all. Whoops. Okay. Well, that's not gonna fly. Gotta be very, very careful here, though. Actually, that means we probably don't even need that cable to begin with. Whoops. I mean, I did that on purpose, but whoops. Okay, where's that cable? Go away. Alright, cool. So that fixes that. I think we'll just put a couple of lights like this, and that should be fine for the bathroom. Let me check in here. We already kind of did the cabling in here. wasn't really any to do in here. And I think I did the lighting for these two in the last episode. Okay, so that's fine. So we need to do these two rooms. I'm putting more lights than I probably need at the moment. Actually, we're gonna put one there, I think. I think that'll work better. But the thing that I'm thinking about at the moment is... Oh, we're gonna have a problem there. I'm not gonna be able to put a lamp between those two things. Ooh, that's... Not a fan of that. Well, I might just have to live with it, because I don't see another way to get around that. So if I put one here... actually, let's keep it off-centered a little bit. Actually, that works fine, other than that one little panel, so I'm good with that. We'll put them... Yeah, matching the door. That works. And we'll do the same thing over here. Yeah, okay, so that works. That worked out. For the lighting on the floor, put one there, one there, on the sides of the table. I could probably put another one here, I just don't know if that'll interfere with getting in and out or not. Ew. Let's put one there instead. That'll kind of match that way, and I can't get any other ones. Now for this, we may end up putting ones on the side here if this just doesn't end up being bright enough. I think it'll be okay, but we'll have to kind of test it out and see. But yeah, one of the biggest things is that most of the time the bloom on these is a little strong. And actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, I think we're going to do this. I think that'll look a little bit more even. Ooh. I hate those kinds of situations. But it looks like I don't really have a lot of options now, do I? Let's put it over here, I guess. Put that there. I can't get a light over there, so that'll be a little lopsided, but whatever. Don't really want a light here. That won't really work all that well. I might put one here for a reading light. That's my excuse for that one being there. Beyond that, we're actually a bit of a pickle in this room. It's just not very symmetrical in terms of getting things to line up right. I could do something like this, I guess. But I don't know about anybody else, but I don't really like staring at a light behind TVs. I think it's a little distracting. Alright, in terms of placement, actually I don't even think I'm going to put any on the floor in this room, because they're just a little annoying. Okay, so I think we have all of the lights in place, so I'm going to pause it, save it, and we're going to clean up, not clean up, but try and tweak our lighting a little bit and then wrap this episode up. Okay, so now that we saved it, but yeah, a lot of the comments I got from the last episode, and I even mentioned it before we wrapped up, was the bloom was a little bit bright, so the glow of the lights was a little bit too strong. But it didn't really cast enough light to light up the room to where if you had your headlamps off that it's not... I mean, this isn't bad, but there's spots in the middle of the floor that just look a little dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and you can kind of see the light over... Maybe if I can get a better angle here. You can kind of see the lights over on the side, so you want to keep an eye on those. And I'm going to grab... Oh, geez, what was it? 243 through 40. Okay, and let's add them to... let's put it as engineering. I'll put in ambiance lighting at some point when I remember how to spell it. For now, we're going to put mood lighting. Or environmental lighting. That's what we'll do. Enviro lighting. That sounds better than mood lighting. Okay, so that's them. So I want everything but those. And at some point I'll have to turn like a beacon, not a beacon, an antenna on and do the show on HUD thing. And I think that was the ones. And adjust all of these and get them all in groups for different rooms so that I can adjust them all separately. But right now I don't mind it being white. Some people were talking about changing the color to gray and stuff. I don't mind the white light, but you have to adjust these three: the radius, the fall off, and the intensity. And it's fun playing around with each of them because I'm not really sure scientifically how all of them work, but you can kind of get a feel for what all they do. For example, radius is fairly obvious. It increases the radius. So I crank this all the way up, but now it gets really washed out. The fall off, I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but I think I set this at 1 and I was happy with it. It kind of like brings it back a little bit, like how it's weird because these seem to me a little counterproductive. Radius is how wide the light shines out, but fall off seems to be like how far it can go before it starts dimming, and I'm like, isn't that the same thing? They sound pretty much identical. And then you can turn the intensity down to make it, what is it normally at, 2? Let's try 1. And I'm going to put all these in a group called white lights, so I don't have to go through and find them all again. So that's not bad. Lowering the intensity, I think, lowers the bloom. I'm not 100% sure on that point. I think, like, if I were to bring the radius down, it doesn't seem to do anything to the bloom until you get down to the very end. The fall off is mildly controlling that, but the intensity is very much like, let's try 0.5. That's not bad. That's not bad, and it lights up a little bit better in here. It's not nearly as dark around the place as it was. I'm almost wondering if I raise the fall off and lower the intensity more, if that'll balance out a little bit better. I'm also wondering if I actually need that many lights or not. So let's raise this back up to like 1.5. I think it was at... Yeah, it was. They default to 1.5. Let's try like Let's try like 0.3. Okay, that's not bad. Maybe 0.4. That's a little dim. I mean, you don't need things super duper bright, but I just like to see where I'm going. I don't like, you know, walking around feeling like I'm going to trip over something. So that's not bad. It is a little bit on the brighter side. I probably could lower it a bit more. Let's try back at 1 and 0.4. That's not bad. I kind of like that. And we can probably go through and clean some of these out, maybe make it a little less. Like some of these, I don't know if I really need these or not in the corners here. Like that didn't really seem to do anything, but it makes it a little less distracting. So stuff like that I could go through and probably clean up a bit. And we can adjust these too, because these weren't corner lights, so these cable ones aren't affected by those changes I just made. But I think overall that's okay. I mean, it's bright enough that you can kind of see what's going on and not have to use your lamps all the time. This room could use a little bit... Oh, I didn't end up putting any corner lights in here. That's why. I was like, this is a little dim in here, but it's because there's no corner lights, so none of those got adjusted. Okay. Now, I might want to adjust the cable lights before I do that, because it could affect that. But overall, I'm happy with the lighting, like the brightness. I think the brightness and everything works well. What I don't know about is if I need this many lights to maintain this brightness, or if I could streamline and clean them up a little bit and take a few out here or there. But let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!